Huawei Missy Meng Wanzhou is moving step by step towards the center of the Huawei stage. As a domestic communications industry giant with a sense of national sentiment, Huawei to select a successor not only need to accept the internal scrutiny of Huawei, but also invariably accept the harsh scrutiny of the national public. All this, Meng Wanzhou ready? At the end of March, Huawei held a general election of its board of directors, determining Meng as Huawei's rotating chairman, who will be on duty from April 1, 2023 to September 30, 2023. This is Meng Wanzhou experienced 3 decades in Huawei groping, after 28 days of detention in Vancouver, Canada. For the first time to grasp the highest position of Huawei, became the nominal successor. I would like to thank my motherland and the people of my motherland for their support and help. This is the biggest support for me to get through this. This is the last words of Meng Wanzhou's sincere speech before returning from Canada. These words are not only Meng Wanzhou's true emotion, but also her strong and confident spiritual support, after being detained in the United States and Canada for more than 1,000 days for no reason. Although several years have passed, this airport speech has been played many times. Many people probably only really got to know Meng from this incident. Welcome to Tech Teller. Before we start today's video, please subscribe to our channel, which is the encouragement that we can create more videos. Our channel has told about many people in the field of science and technology. As for today's video, I would like to discuss the Huawei CFO, Meng Wanzhou's many inspirational qualities, the suspicious timing of the US case against her, and biased Western media reports. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's talk about the inspirational qualities of Ms. Meng at first. First, her formidable courage and perseverance. Despite being under great pressure and facing many uncertainties, she pulled herself together. For more than 2 years, she had to wear an electronic ankle bracelet that monitored her movements 24 hours a day, but she got through it gracefully. Second, her wisdom and optimism will inspire anyone suffering an injustice to keep calm and deal with whatever challenges come their way. She clearly takes after her father, Huawei Technologies company founder Ren Zhengfei. In an interview with CCTV in 2019, Ren was asked if he was worried about his daughter. He said, "I don't worry, because my daughter is also very optimistic." Even given the troubles Huawei has been facing with US policies, Ren told his employees that the company must remain open and continue to learn from the United States. Meng even insisted on studying in prison, and she told her father that she was going to read a doctor in prison. She did not indulge herself in pain and could not extricate herself. In order to relieve herself, she studied oil painting and purifies her soul. Third, Meng upheld the honor of her country. All through her ordeal, Meng was polite and gentle, often smiling when she was photographed walking out of her house. Her manners impressed the people around her, even the British Columbia Supreme Court Associate Chief Justice Heather Holmes, who officially ended the Canadian proceedings against her. At the final hearing on September 25, she addressed Meng directly. "You have been cooperative and courteous throughout the proceedings, and the court appreciates and thanks you for that." Last but not least, Meng, as a woman who has made an impact in a male-dominated business sector, shows the world the inner beauty of Chinese women. Okay, for the next part, let's talk about the suspicious details about Meng Wanzhou's case. When White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki stressed the independence of the US Justice Department in striking a deal with Meng Wanzhou, I was thinking that some senior officials really take us commoners as dumb. The US Attorney General, who heads the Justice Department, is appointed and serves at the pleasure of the President, being a statutory member of their cabinet. The current US administration should be proud of the handling of this case, as it addresses a shameful attempt of the previous administration to resort to any means in the political wrangling it initiated with China. Again, it sends a positive sign to the world that such low tactics will hopefully be eschewed in favor of real dialogue at a nation-to-nation level. Let's go over the facts of the case. Huawei has been a Chinese champion as it developed its own technology and was exporting it all around the world. Unlike some other tech founders, Ren Zhengfei remains the head of the company. He has long maintained a stock distribution to Huawei employees, which the Harvard Business Review called a profit-sharing case study, retaining only around 1% of the company. Huawei was targeted by the US with national security claims, which it was able to sell to other Five Eyes nations, despite these nations initially finding no such issues existed. All of this makes it hard to accept that Meng's extradition request was an innocent pursuit of justice. Canada was caught in the crossfire, but allegations that it was acting as a puppet failed to take into consideration the nation's strong adherence to the rule of law. It ranks 9th on the World Justice Project's Rule of Law Index. Fair enough, Meng did admit to misleading HSBC as part of the deal for her release. But the issue is rather the decision and timing to pursue such charges. It cannot be arbitrary on the basis of an agenda other than serving justice. Many Western articles have decried the hostage diplomacy by China in the cases of Meng Wanzhou, Michael Kovrig, and Michael Spavor. I want to add 2 points that are missing from Western mainstream media. On international extradition treaties, the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime dictate 2 key legal principles. First, the crimes committed by the to-be extradited person must be relevant crimes in both countries. In Canada, doing business with Iran is not a crime, even though it is a crime in the US. Canada failed this first legal test. Second, the extradition must not be politically motivated. This prevents countries from arresting their escaped political dissidents in other countries. On December 11, 2018, then US President Donald Trump said he would intervene in Meng's case if he thought it was good for what will be the largest trade deal ever made. Anyone with an unbiased mind will conclude that she was a pawn in the trade and technology war between the US and China. Canada failed in this second legal test. It's also worth noting that, according to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, some European countries had refused the US request to apprehend Meng when she traveled there. Trudeau instead gave in. International politics need shrewdness from political leaders. Western newspaper articles might attract readership and make some people feel good, but they do little to help the public to understand the real issue or help the Canada-China relationship. And just as the plane flew over the North Pole and headed in the direction of home, Meng Wanzhou on the plane posted a moment on her WeChat, "Without a strong motherland, I would not have the freedom I have today. It is the splendid Chinese red that ignited the fire of faith in my heart, illuminated the darkest moments of my life, and led me back to the long journey home." Meng's rotation period is from April 1 to September 30, 2023. During this period, she will lead the entire company as the top leader of Huawei, and Meng, who comes from a CFO background, and is different from the senior management of Huawei's business lines, is taking a relatively cautious development strategy and is not so spontaneous in her business approach. According to Huawei founder Ren Zhengfei's prediction of the development situation in the next few years in August 2022, 2023 and 2024 will be Huawei's life-breathing period, to find a way to get through this difficult period, in order to see a little hope in 2025. Ren Zhengfei also pointed out that live, where there is money to earn a little. From this perspective, we have to adjust in the market structure, study what can be done and what should be abandoned. Businesses that cannot generate value and profits in the next few years should be scaled down or closed. The choice of Meng as the first rotating chairman may not be without consideration of this. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below and share your insightful ideas with other people. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. We will see you in the next video.